Hello. Welcome to the Department on Disability Services Rehabilitation Services Administration, RSA. RSA's goal is to help people with disabilities in the District of Columbia obtain or maintain employment and to live as independently as possible in their homes and in the community. We do this by giving you the tools you need to succeed, such as training, education, assistive technology, or other supports. We are here to help pave the road on your career path. And by working closely with you, I assure you that we can help you get started on your journey to a fulfilling and rich life in the district. Now let's take a look at the steps you will take to get employed.
Welcome to the Rehabilitation Services Administration, RSA, within the Department on Disability Services in the District of Columbia. The District of Columbia government is invested in helping you achieve success in the workplace. So many people with disabilities play a vital role in local businesses and our government. Our goal at RSA is to help you become employed and to enable you to have greater self-sufficiency. Over the next several minutes, we will walk with you through the steps that you need to take and explain how we will be your partner in gaining employment. We're going to get you going as quickly as possible and be there with you every step of the way. Let's get started. Vocational rehabilitation is a 5-step process at RSA, and to reach your goal, you will have to be an active partner every step of the way. Step 1, opening your case, which includes an intake interview and determination of your eligibility for RSA services. Step 2, vocational exploration, where if you are found eligible, you and your counselor will decide on what types of jobs and working environments are the right match for you. Step 3, development of the Individualized Plan for Employment, or IPE, where together you and your counselor will develop a strategy for you to get employed and be successful. Step 4, referral for services, where you and your counselor actively work with support service providers to get you the skills and experience to become employed. And finally, Step 5, employment. You start your search for a job and with the help of our employment service providers, get hired. Okay, so let's get into the details about what you can expect from us and what we will need from you. Let's discuss Step 1, opening a case. This starts with you walking through the door and meeting with us for an intake interview.
I came in, it lasted maybe an hour, hour and a half or so, and I described my limitations, my strengths, and what kind of services I've received in the past and services that I'm looking for now.
What we need from you is a photo ID, such as a DC driver's license or a DC resident card. To help move the process along, you should also bring with you any medical disability reports, psychological evaluations, SSI or SSDI benefits award letters, and proof of your income, which would help determine your eligibility. After meeting with us, we may need to make further assessments depending on the type of disability you have to determine your eligibility for our services. These can include medical evaluations, psychological evaluations, and neurological or functional capacity evaluations. Also, all of this information that you give us is completely confidential. We will ask you to sign a release form later that will enable us to request your medical records. But anytime there is a request for any of your personal information for any reason, we will ask your permission and have you sign a release, so you control your information. If you're currently receiving SSI or SSDI, we can advise you about how your employment will affect those payments and your benefits. Your counselor will provide details about this during your intake interview. Our hope is that you will earn more through employment. The information gathered during the assessment phase will allow us to determine if you meet the 3 criteria below and are therefore eligible for RSA services. First question, do you have a disability? Second question, does your disability create a substantial barrier towards your getting or keeping a job? Third question, can you benefit in terms of employment outcome from vocational rehabilitation services? Once your eligibility for vocational rehabilitation services is determined, we will move forward with the process. Now that you are moving forward, what are your responsibilities during the rest of the process? Your responsibilities include providing us with relevant and requested information, actively participating through making informed choices, keeping all appointments and arriving on time, staying in regular contact with your counselor, and following your counselor's and our professional recommendations. And by the way, if at any point you disagree with the decisions made while participating in our services, there are ways to appeal those decisions. Later, we will be giving you a copy of your rights and information on the appeals process. So, we have determined that you're eligible. What happens next?
We would do what's called a comprehensive needs assessment, where we ask the client a little bit about their strengths, about what are their challenges that they see upon entering the workforce back again, what are some of their interests, what are some of the jobs they've had before and why they were successful, and some of the jobs they've had and why those weren't so successful.
When I meet with a client, I like to find out what a client's passion is. Before I just send a client to a program or to work, I first like to talk to the client and to find out exactly what she may want to do.
At this point, we're almost ready to develop your individualized plan for employment, or your IPE, that will guide you to achieving your employment goal. We'll talk about your financial resources and the ways in which you may be able to contribute to your plan. We'll also discuss how any support you may be receiving from SSI or SSDI factors in. We first will perform a financial needs assessment to determine if you will need to contribute to your services. Okay, now we will develop your IPE. This is step 3.
We make sure that clients are fully aware of their goal and the kind of services that they'll be receiving have to relate to that goal.
Some examples of vocational rehabilitation services include counseling and guidance, assistive technology devices, physical and mental restoration, education and training, job placement and coaching, transportation allowances, interpreter services, and many other services that will be customized to you as you move towards your goal. Now, when we are developing your IPE, there may be benefits that you already have through other services that we can use to get you things like training and medical help. We may be able to use services through your health insurance, Medicaid, Pell Grants, VA benefits, or other programs. Your counselor will discuss this with you. With your written individualized plan for employment now complete, we will start working with you to get you into your desired career.
Receiving services from RSA is the responsibility of both the counselor and the client. Clients should know that they play a large role in staying in frequent communication with their counselor, being able to articulate some of the services that they received in the past and how those services have benefited them. Also having an open mind to what your counselor may be able to expose you to, such as, alternative ways of working, resources in the community that may be essential to you gaining more skills.
Once you have begun to meet with the employment providers, you will continue to stay in contact with and update your counselor on the progress you're making. You, your counselor, and your service providers will work hard together to help you become employed as quickly as possible. As soon as an employer lets you know that you are the candidate they wish to hire, contact your counselor immediately to let them know the exciting news of your success.
Once a person is employed and we're looking to successfully close that case, we would talk with the client and make sure that they're satisfied in their job. We might even, with their permission, if they would like, we would take a visit to their work site, see how things are going. Definitely keeping in touch with that client within those 90 days to make sure that things are going well with coworkers, supervisors, that they're acclimating okay to the environment, to their job duties.
When you and your counselor do decide that you are ready to be on your own, then your case is closed. It means that you are now working and participating the way you want in the city where we live. We are here to help you become employed and will be with you every step of the way to make sure that you have every opportunity to be a productive employee in our city. Thanks for watching. Now let's get started.